Oh right, I suppose I should attack as well. That's a bit unfortunate sort of prioritizing of matters. The important bit is when you see a sniper, shoot, unleash as much lead as you can upon the little bastard before he gets away, because snipers aren't really the sort of type to stick around once they're discovered. And further mines are laid down, of course. Why not do it again since the first one worked so well? And we have the Wolverine M10 tank destroyer ready to hunt down any German armor or bikes, but then again, not really a lot at the moment. Nothing even coming out of this Panzer command. But Pioneers doing quite a bit of harassment, taking all of the last of the 3 victory points.
Krauts have cut forward supply.
And looks like this MG42 will have to pull back a bit. The M10 composing a small threat. And we see these 2 snipers once more moving out. Not really much threatening them, really. And we see the M10 having hit a German mine. Very nice. And we can even see the small light effects lighting up the smoke and other parts of the back. The rear, rather nice. The visual aspect has always been one of the rather compelling ones, though usually graphics isn't the important bit, but it can really help on the feel of the game. And a bazooka brutally murder this Pioneers. That was terrible. Well, not for the Rangers, of course. That was a rather good shot. And we see fresh barbed wire being laid down here again, rather hoping to funnel all of the American forces into a certain predetermined kill zones. Not a bad idea for sure, but really with this sort of strategy or tactic being imposed by Mr. HiK, it's not really going to be that effective. And we have a Panzer IV and the Kampfkraft Center going up, so we'll probably be seeing some Veterancy 1 for this. Will certainly be of help. Question is though, will the Panzer IV survive the M10 and these Rangers first though? Oh dear, that was quite horrific. A mine knocking out 3 Rangers and forcing them into a retreat. I think one of them was thrown into the river. Shame, really. Happens though. There we go. Panzer Kampfwagen 4 having been lent out by the 21st Panzer Division to support the 706th in their defense of this area. Will it be able to hold the area, or will it be knocked out? Bike moving in. We'll have to be careful. There be mines here, and the M10 is quick to move in. Will the bike realize this and get out of there? And what is he doing? Sending in his Panzer IV unsupported. And oh dear, the M10 is quick to move around it and blockade the retreat area. And it is of course able to do more damage to the Panzer IV than the Panzer IV is able to do the M10. This is really going to be a bad exchange though. Panzer IV will have to get out of there, or at least get Veterancy 1, but there's no chance of that. And we see Stormtroopers, so again sort of mirroring each other, both delaying in the hopes of getting armor rather swiftly. Oh dear, what is he doing with that tank? He didn't even move it when those Rangers were moving up. And snipers really nearby, that's bad. Oh dear, get those Stormtroopers out. But again, sort of mirror tactics or strategy, using elite calling troops to actually act as the infantry, rushing for armor of some sort. Trouble is though that the advantage lies with HiK, because he's more the aggressor. He's really choosing where to fight and how to fight, whereas Mr. Hauptmann me is really taking up the passive approach and sort of hoping to just defeat it. And already lost 1 Panzer IV a bit too quickly for my liking. So any reason you had to be careful with things like Panzer IVs moving in without support. And then just having it stand completely still as Rangers move in on it. Usually what you call a bad idea. But a bit of a lull in the fighting actually, not entirely sure. There seems to be mostly mines going down, points being taken. The 2 victory points are still in the hands of the Wehrmacht. But for how much longer? And let's have a return to him. Not much manpower either. Really, I'm curious where that's going, really. A bit of fighting here, engineers being forced back. And mines being laid out, and stormtroopers. He's calling in further stormtroopers to somehow counteract this situation, and possibly hoping for the cloaked stormtroopers to walk upon the snipers and then of course annihilate them very swiftly. Oh dear, bike! in range of the bazookas. Oh dear, this could easily end up badly. And sniper right near the American snipers. Oh dear, again, this is... Oh no, don't let him fire, don't let him fire. Like, certainly not making pretty... Oh dear, he fired. Will the American snipers react? Apparently not. Stormtroopers charging in though. And Rangers charging in after the sniper, hoping to catch him. While these engineers are getting torn apart by assault rifle fire. Will these Stormtroopers continue? And sniper fire on them. Sniper hitting a mine. Stormtroopers also. Rangers taking a bit of losses. Stormtroopers hunting down those snipers, forcing them on the retreat, but again, only causing very little damage. He's not really having much luck in dealing with those snipers. And now moving in through here. Will there be any bundle grenades dropped in, or will he try to at least deal with these engineers? No, apparently he seems keen on just ignoring them. Nope, wait, there we go. Stormtroopers moving in with their Sturmgewehr assault rifles, clearing out a few and now focusing on this. Artillery fire centering in on this building, and this means that... Do we have a howitzer? No, it's just off-map artillery, not on-map. And Stormtroopers hitting another mine, it seems. M10 moving in, hoping to crush these Stormtroopers, but they are too swift for them to be crushed beneath its treads. And we see a bunker going up, but still no armor. Nothing to really help against this M10. Stormtroopers sneaking in from behind and not holding fire instead. And oh dear, getting crushed beneath the treads. That was absolutely horrific. Not much luck for Hauptmann and me in dealing with this. Pioneers now continuing. I'm rather curious why he hasn't actually gotten any pioneers with minesweepers. Seems very odd though. Now question is, what will he be going for? He might be going for the Panther in the hopes of dealing with that M10. And we have a Sherman on the field as well. So Mr. HiK is really pushing advantage using mines very well. But at the same time, he could certainly use to be a bit more aggressive, since there's not really much holding the line by now. So just pushing the advantage would certainly be of great help. And mines could be ignored with the flail upgrade for the Sherman. But you rarely see that actually. It also makes quite a bit of a visual spectacle as it actually hits infantry and catches them in the flail. Quite gory. There we go, attack moving in, engineers at the front getting suppressed though. Other engineers quick to repair this M10, but they might be a bit too close and get suppressed. MG42 gunner under sniper fire, and we see the repair station. And what do we see? Another Panzer IV coming out. Rangers moving in from the south with engineers and the Sherman. Quite the nasty maneuver, and not much to really hold them back. MG42 setting up at a slightly more rear position. Panzer IV, Veterans 1 and Stormtroopers nearby. Will they be swift enough to try and turn back this American assault? MG42 suppressing the Rangers, but that Sherman will easily put an end to that. There we go, one heavy high explosive shell, and that MG42 gunner is not but a dream. And that repair bunker really turned out to be a bit of a waste. Quickly knocked out, a bit too exposed, and again he didn't really have any armor at the time either. Sherman though seems a bit unfortunate. Damaged engine. And Stormtroopers moving in now, and we see assault grenades being popped, but artillery moving in to counter this. Stormtroopers will have to retreat lest they be hit by howitzer fire, and they still are. One goes down and apparently goes into 1,000 bits. Looks like the Americans are slowly but surely pushing their way towards victory. German forces are not really able to mount any successful attack due to those snipers in particular, and the rather unfortunate nature of how we did things, that is, playing way too passively and sort of expecting we just hold the line, but rather HiK sought to counteract that and of course use snipers to clear out those HMGs most effectively, and then getting M10s and Rangers to really deal with any armor. But at least he didn't go for Oswins, in which case it'd probably been really bad off. Another Panzer IV on the way. Let us be returning to HiK. Quite a lot of manpower and fuel, but no real reason to use it, it seems. And further artillery firing down, forcing the Panzer IV to move again. Oh dear, quite a heavy damage, and oh dear, the Panzer IV is knocked out. That was certainly very, very unpleasant for the Wehrmacht commander. Second Panzer IV lost, and a third on the way. And M10 coming under Panzer fire, main gun knocked out. No snipers nearby to help though, but really not looking good for the Wehrmacht commander. He really needs to put down some sort of effective attack, but he seems incapable of doing it. Panzer IV with stormtroopers moving in though, but really too few units to really make a difference, I suspect. Further losses to the Rangers. Engineer team setting up there, but the Panzer IV is taking further fire. Engineers continuing to repair their way, and what do we see here? A Krieg barracks, apparently going for the Krieg barracks, securing themselves something slightly more sturdy, I suppose, but really? When he's gone for the Panzer command, he might as well exploit it properly, get some sort of, I don't know, Panther, Ostwind, Knights, Crossholders. That would certainly be more helpful than Pack, for example, since that would just be knocked out by those snipers in, well, very short time, of course, by the artillery employed so aggressively by Captain HiK. It looks like this Panzer IV will be in need of repairs once more. But the tide has turned, and we'll be speeding up a bit since there doesn't seem to be anything happening. The German looks like he'll be massing up for an assault. The American really doing his best to hold the center, and what do we see here? Some stormtroopers moving into the south. Lots of mine on this small bridge. Nothing here though, so of course any troops could move through here, but they aren't. Instead they go through here and hit both mines and get annihilated. Not sure why he couldn't just go through here and do a bit of harassment that way. Would certainly have been a lot more effective, and would also really have forced the American to spread out his forces a lot more. Which is certainly the one thing you want if you're really on the back foot and need to attack. Then you really want to make your opponent paranoid and force him to spread out as thinly as possible, thus allowing you to really make a solid punch. That does not seem to really fall within his line of thought, and there we go, Pack 38, but again a few snipers when it's revealed and it is gone. Fresh stormtroopers on the field. Apparently the SS are moving in larger numbers to actually support this, but they aren't really having much help in this. And there we go, again sniper fire. He doesn't really seem to be trying to take account for that, or even trying to deal with them even slightly by now even, which is certainly not helping. And right, again, he must know there's snipers there, but why is he then placing a pack right there on the other side of the river? And I just think that Mr. HiK is just taking it easy since he's floating so many resources. Good lord, seems like I've gotten hiccups. And let's speed this up again in the hopes that something will happen. Pack firing away, and there we go, as I predicted, sniper fire knocking it out in